Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into game number 4 between Evil Genius and Rox.Kis. Let's go ahead and get there. It's going to be the Shattered Temple, where Titan will meet up with Puma. Yummy.
Yummy, yummy.
In my
should be an interesting matchup.
tummy?
Huh?
Nothing. Never mind, go ahead.
What'd you say?
I said
Say
in
it.
my tummy.
Tummy. Nice.
Thanks.
We had a conversation related to Yummy. I like deja vu again. I just had another deja vu.
Yeah, we did.
There's a glitch in the Matrix, Greetor.
There isn't. There isn't.
There is. We have to run, or we're gonna get chased by the agents.
Dude, I am an agent.
You are? I have to kill you then, because I'm the one. Don't tell anyone I said that though.
You're not.
It's supposed to be a secret.
You're not the one.
I am the one.
No.
The Oracle said I was.
Okay, jump into me. Go ahead. Jump into me.
That sounds inappropriate. I don't want to.
That's what I thought.
Thanks though. Actually offer. PVT on this map of Shattered Temple.
Oh, hold on. Whoa.
What?
Big
What are we holding
stuff
on
going on here. A lot of smiley faces going down. Titan gets the last word so far. Titan gets the last word. He's up 1-0.
These players are not allowed to have fun.
Wow.
We need to censor
Things are
smiley
getting
faces.
crazy over here. Yeah, let's talk about TVP on this map. Okay, your thoughts and then my thoughts. Go.
All right, I think to a certain extent, like Terran players who love the drop, it's awesome for dropping. You know, the third is way far away from the main base. So again, that idea of trying to get your Protoss opponent to split up and stuff, you know, that's pretty important. Also, 3 bases are relatively easy to take on this map. So if you can prevent your third from, if you can prevent your opponent from getting a third while getting a third of your own, that's obviously really important. And there's really one big choke that you can engage into. However, when you get to the middle of the map, it's pretty darn expansive. So Terran players usually like engaging out there because they can get better concaves. You know, the Colossi chokes aren't as devastating because there are no chokes in the middle of the map. Pretty much, you have to rely on those force fields. But force fields in a big open space are kind of hard to do. So you know, I think it's a relatively balanced map. And those are my thoughts, Greetor.
All right. Well, it is quite interesting. I do think Terran has a slight advantage on this map, especially with that planetary fortress going at the gold base. That's going to be one of the key things to actually fight for. When you're Terran, a lot of times you'll see a lot of builds actually constructed just to do a small push or to gain space in the middle of the map, so you can actually receive the Protoss very easily, and then you get that, you gobble up that gold expansion. All of a sudden you have a booming economy, of course. Putting mules and SCVs on there, the efficiency of that is very, very good, and you're able to just push out with a ton of units. You get a 200 army super fast, and then all of a sudden Protoss is like, ah! It's exactly how they're like.
You're right. I can verify. Crazy building placement from Titan here.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
Titan has this style of doing this type of, kind of SimCity. I'm not a huge fan, especially with the cybernetics core so exposed.
Yeah.
Normally, you want to have your cybernetics core tucked away. I think this area is a great place to actually put all of your stuff, your forges, because if you see, it's close to your ramp, so you can get over here. The probability of a drop coming here, they have to go like all along this side. Also, there's a lot better spots for Terrans to drop, especially. So, somewhere a little bit safer, I think would have been nicer, but overall, we're not going to see that. Titan is just going to go for, whoa, the forge. He's going to go for cannons to defend against any incoming pressure in this early game stage.
Immediately starting.
I take that back.
I'm
sorry. I take that back completely. This is just strictly for a +1 armor because he sees his opponent's command center. So he's going for a 2-gate forge into robotics facility. This is absolutely wacky.
Yeah.
Absolutely wacky.
It's relatively risky because look at his attacking units right now. He only has 1 sentry on the field. Am I incorrect in saying that? Oh, okay, he has 1 stalker and a zealot. Where are they? Okay, they're in the middle of the map doing their thing. That's not a lot of units at this point in the game. I mean, if Puma had done some sort of like 5 racks after expanding, like I feel like Titan would probably be dead right now, but he's going for stim relatively early, so we might see a timing attack behind this. Then again, he just may play a standard game, get a factory down Starport, go to Medevac while getting his third. But yeah, definitely an interesting play from Titan, and it's going to pay off for him for sure because Puma doesn't have like a ridiculous amount of units on the field, And again, Titan needs to start thinking about adding on additional gateways here. I don't know about 2 gates. I expect at least 2 more to be added by the time 10 minutes comes around.
Yeah, Robotics Bay is going to go down. Now, here's the thing. He goes super fast upgrades, but not going the Twilight Council. He's going to have to get this one after the other, similar to how a Terran actually gets his upgrades. We're getting +1 attack and then +1 armor. So I'm not sure. I mean, the +1 armor, it's cool and all. It's really good, but I don't think he'll be able to use it for anything. It's just more for a defensive type of expansion. Or not expansion, but a defensive type of play, taking your, natural and securing it very easily against any sort of like all-in 1-1-1 or anything like that. I guess it worked. Not even 1-1-1, I should say. I don't know what it actually defends against. The +1 armor, in my eyes, are really, really weird. And not to be following this up with Gateway and Twilight Council plus another Forge, in my eyes, is again very weird, and it makes her a very different type of brand of StarCraft, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's unusual. He's definitely getting a really fast +1 armor, and following up with the fast +1. So it almost feels like, some players throw on both their forges at 8 minutes and then, start their +1/+1 right away. This is just like a different order of doing it. It's just getting one forge a little bit earlier, starting with +1 armor, and then starting a +1 weapon. So I do expect once this +1 weapons gets to about halfway, throw down an additional forge, throw down a Twilight Council. Would not be surprised at all to see that. And there we go, 2 gateways being added on, so I don't look like an idiot before the 10-minute mark. And also getting observer speed. Gravitic boosters, love that upgrade. As the game goes along, I feel like it's essential in this matchup. Maybe every matchup, to be honest.
Do you think that's actually a mistake and he wanted to get the Warp Prism speed? Because it kind of
no, because he doesn't have a Warp Prism on the way. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have one on the field.
Right. Well, we'll definitely.
Though that's a cool upgrade too. I agree with you.
I love that upgrade. Gravitic Drive. It's a lot cooler.
You won't love it if you play me. I'll tell you that much.
Axel, I've played you. You can do anything you want against me.
You
can do anything you want against me. I'm completely fine, man. LOL.
Anything I want?
Anything you want. And I'm not.
I can do anything I want to.
I'm not scared of it. LOL. All right. Well, that gravitic boosters are definitely helping out this time around. You can see that he's actually following the medevac very easily.
So sick.
Definitely so sick.
So sick.
Definitely so sick. Oh man.
Factory
so
coming
good.
forward to the 3rd. Puma thinks he's Marine King Prime with that factory, which is fine. All Terrans should have fun with their factories and block off attack pass, make chokes
annoying,
a little bit shorter.
It's annoying,
stuff like that.
For sure. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. Put my trust in you. Okay, so we might see multi-pronged hits over here with a small group of Marine Marauders in the bottom side. Of course, that medevac drop in the top left-hand side, but Titan is very ready for this.
He's on top of it.
Oh, he's on top.
It's really cool to see. Nice scouting information. How many observers does he have? 2. That's a good amount. I would add a couple more as the game goes along. Observer's such a good unit, and look at that. He's following that medevac. I wonder if Puma knows that observer is there. If I look at his vision, he should know.
Yeah, he should. It's a squiggly in the air.
Yeah.
It's moving pretty fast, actually. There he goes. He's gonna kill it. He's gonna kill it.
Oh.
Goodbye.
Poor observer. And this is where I would usually add on a second robo, just to make sure I can keep my Colossi production up as well as build anything else I would want. But again, okay. I'm like, he needs to get a 3rd. He is getting his 3rd at his gold base. And Puma is still trying to drop, but just not able to be effective with those.
Yeah, the unit's right around the corner, so obviously Puma doesn't want to drop all those units down there. But what is this doing? Just having these units out here, it's forcing these the Protoss to be super defensive. You can see Stalkers and Zealots and Sentries and Colossus staying in his base. Now, if he went to go push and all of a sudden he traded everything, what do we have? Well, now the Protoss can actually push out. He doesn't have to worry about some sort of huge drop. And throughout this whole time, Puma is taking his 3rd base pretty easily. I mean, he doesn't have to worry about anything. That's why we actually see a kind of switch in the metagame to Warp Prisms to, force the Terran actually to be a little bit safer and not take 3rd so easily. But overall, I feel like Titan is in a tough position. He's trying to take his gold expansion at this point, but what really matters, in my opinion, especially when he goes to this end game stage, he's getting his upgrades. 3-3 needs to be upgraded ASAP. He wants to get his 5th and 6th gas, and his opponent has had the 5th and 6th gas up much longer than him.
Yeah, and you know, Titan, he's done a good job of preventing the drops, but as you said, hasn't been able to be very aggressive. And again, on this map, it's kind of hard to do that without warpism. Like if you try to engage in that natural expansion of the Terran, they can just spit out the units, and you're sucked into like a vacuum, and your opponent automatically has the concave. But Titan coming forward, starting 3-3 immediately, as you said, and backing up. There was a drop at the gold base from Puma. He's just probably gonna lift off and get out of there once the units come forward. What do you think about using cannons like in this situation? Just maybe a cannon or two protecting your mineral lines or near your mineral lines. Yeah.
I would love him to do that, especially with the gold expansion. Obviously allows him to actually have a lot of excess minerals. Poor medevac. It's going to be shot down. But yeah, you have
medevac.
You have, excuse me, that.
With me inside.
Okay. That makes sense.
Right. Okay. I just wanted to clarify.
With you inside. Okay, that makes sense. Titan's at a great number, I think, of Colossus. 4 Colossus is a great, just, you know, medium point where you're not getting too many. 5, he's getting his 5th one right now. I think going to 6 and 7 probably isn't the best idea. As soon as Puma actually identifies that, the Viking count should start to increase in number. I actually think he understands that this is going on. He sees, oh yeah, he does see the scan. He sees 4 Colossus. He's going to make more Vikings. That's not going to go well because at this point you can see the 5th and 6th gas just now starting to mine. That means this army really doesn't have a lot of stalkers in it. You can see, let's see, a total of 19 stalkers. You might think that's a lot, but all the rest of the army is pretty limited. Now 5 Colossus out in the field. I'm pretty sure the Vikings just, and the stalker count, it's just enough to send the Vikings in, let them do their damage, keep backing up with the Marines and Marauders, and don't even worry about, you know, your Vikings. Let them trade off with the Colossus, because if I can get 4 Colossus of all of that, you know, 1 Colossus really isn't going to do too much damage against this Marine Marauder ball.
It's all going to be about positioning here. I mean, what Puma has to do is get his Vikings at the right angle and engages the Colossi while they're on their own. What Titan has to focus on is trying to catch the Vikings off guard as the Zealots getting picked off. Not sure what they're trying to do. But it looks like there might be an engagement here soon, Vitor.
Yep, it looks so. Stalkers are pushing forward. They're getting nice position, just trying to flank out those Vikings from actually doing anything.
Blink, nice.
Oh, God. Careful, Terran. I like how both of us. Okay, so Titan does have the upgrade advantage, 3-3 against 2-2 at this point. Puma is going to push up here. Nice blink up. He's going to take out 1 Colossus, but the Stalkers, oh no! They're actually caught way out of position. Now the Marines and Marauders are actually in great position. They don't even need to back up. The Zealots get mutilated so fast. You can see this army really isn't equipped to deal with the Terran army, and Titan gets cleaned up so fast. You can see positioning and army composition being the key factors to giving that advantage to Puma. Even with the upgrade advantage, 3-3 against 2-2, the Terran army is able to take out the protest.
I'm trying to think about, all right, hold that thought. There's an engagement in the left here. Charge Lots trying to engage the Marines and Marauders, but Puma has such good kiting. Going to EMP the Zealots, hopefully. EMP, not going to EMP, going to lose Ghost for free. That's okay. Still going to clean it up. I had a thought, but they just keep attacking each other. Puma continuing forward with these Marines and Marauders. Vikings looking for Colossi in the air might decide to land themselves, but there is 1 Colossus on the way, so that would be a mistake. Ooh, Ghost cloaking up, probably going to try to EMP this entire army, and it does a large majority of it. And Puma could take this game right now, man.
And he's going to keep stutter stepping back. The Marines and Marauders obviously doing a ton of damage. Now Colossus is going to get in here. Unfortunately for him, he's been using his Vikings, so Puma won't be too happy with that, but look at that, the Marines and Marauders are just enough to circle around and take out that 1 Colossus. The bear goes down. Meantime, just continue kiting. Units are rallied all the way over. The Nexus is being taken in the 12 o'clock position, and these Archons should give him a little bit of stability over here. These Archons, oh, they need units with them. They can't just be attacking alone. You need Zealots with these Archons. Come on. Ah. He's going to lose them. TT.
Yeah, bringing forward more and more Colossus or Archons here, and Titan going to try to take a base at the top side of the map. Puma's supply is like pretty low, like unexpectedly, almost. Does have a lot of gas, so just now taking that base at the gold. But yeah, what I was going to say earlier about that first engagement, what was I going to say? It was relatively important. I'm wondering if did 3-3 finish right when that happened? Because like honestly, like to me, Titan didn't really need to engage there, you know, unless it was like some sort of timing attack behind the 3-3 upgrade. But like in that little choke that he engaged, like there's not really a reason to. I mean, he's Protoss.
I think he
as the game goes along, Marines and Marauders start getting worse and worse as you get Colossi out, Archons out, High Templars out. Yeah. So just a really weird engagement.
I think he wasn't expecting to engage right there. I mean, he blinked up with all Stalkers. Hold that thought right now. These Marines and Marauders are going to gauge upon some Zealots and Archons. Not enough Zealots in this army composition, and these Archons will be able to micro very easily, especially with that Planetary Fortress up now quite a bit. You can see the Archons die so fast, especially with the 0 armor to its shield. 0 shield upgrade. But I think in that engagement, Titan wasn't actually expecting to engage there. And the main reason why I say that is he was pretty bold and just blinked up with his Stalkers and was just like, okay, I'm trying to kill some Vikings. But then the Terran army just collapsed upon the Protoss army, or rather upon all the Stalkers. And now the Stalkers are all the way up front. They couldn't blink out. The Zealots were behind. The Colossus were coming in a weird angle. And the Vikings were able to just segment off all of the Colossus from the Stalkers and kill a pretty large number of them. And
yeah, so it was just a silly blink decision there.
Exactly. Yes.
From Titan, and you can almost attribute that to Puma for baiting it out there. There were a couple Zealots going to the third base. Nothing too exciting happened there. But look at this, a nuke on the way for Puma. He pretty much has won this game, unless he does something completely silly. But Titan get to try to engage with all of his Archons and his Charge Bots. There are no Colossus in this composition, so Puma just going to split up his army and just destroy everything.
He did a nice little pinwheel there, but that's going to be it. Titan calls out the GG, and Puma's going to take it. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. 2-2. We're going to ace match in this Evil Geniuses versus Rox.Kis show match. Not show match, Clan War. There you go. Break it down for me, Axel. What do we see?
Okay, well, again, it goes down to that engagement at the end there. You know, Titan's economy was fine. He had a good number of bases. He had a good upgrades. He was 3-3. He was on top of everything. He was able to deny the drops from Puma the entire game, and then he just decides to engage in that location because he blinked forward to Stalkers and just threw half his army away. So you know, it really just comes down to that, and that's PVT for you. Like right now, it seems like it comes down to one big engagement. If you screw it up, like you're in a lot of trouble throughout the rest of the game. Now, if you're going to ask me, okay, what could he have done to get back into the game after losing so badly? Again, he's playing against Puma. It's gonna be really hard to do. I guess you can try to. If he'd gotten Storm, maybe if he had some High Templars, like Storm, if you can land some decent Storms, like it's a lot of DPS, and you can get yourself back into games that way. And of course, High Templars, they get their energy back, so that's a really cost-efficient way of dealing with things. And maybe like have some High Templar in that composition in the first place. Like he had Archons, where the High Templars, where the Storms, where the feedbacks on the go, so they don't EMPs, they don't use EMP. So I don't know, a really weird. Kind of a wonky game, honestly. A lot of people might be like, "Oh, it's straightforward," but it was a little weird. I mean, it was like that engagement he chose. I mean,
Titan was going for like more of a brute force type of way, but I don't think when you go brute force, you need like 9-10 gateways to back that up. So it's more.
Yeah, did he have a pylon near that area?
No, he didn't. He didn't have any. That's why it's really obvious that he wasn't prepared to actually attack there. He wasn't preparing to attack there. That's what I should say. He was just, harassing, trying to push out, seeing where his opponent was. He saw no gold expansion, so I don't think he should have actually pushed in there. Obviously, he has his own gold expansion, but when you're doing brute force, and what I mean by brute force is no High Templars, you just have an upgrade advantage. You're more stuff than your opponent. You need more gateways to supplement that army because there's just streams of Zealots, charged Zealots going in directly after that once the dust kind of settles, and you kind of let your Colossus do its damage. Now it's just gateway units against Marine Marauder, which isn't always the best. Actually, it isn't the best, but you're relying on this timing where Terran is remaking all its army. You said it yourself. Puma had a surprisingly low supply after that battle. And, a lot of times when you have a lot of gateways, you can actually take advantage of that when Terrans are slow to actually start up again. But we didn't see that. Unfortunate, we're going to go to it time and time again for that game. It all came down to that engagement. Unfortunate for Titan that he had such a terrible one. But that being said, we're going to go to ace match, so we're all happy about that. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, it's going to be Puma against Live Zerg. for the ace number 1. Don't go anywhere.